Hey, good morning, guys. Still recovering from major surgery. Got my trusty tabletop game here, one of my many trusty tabletop games, right on a table next to my bed. And yesterday I was able to actually play a game and a half, and eventually I may get up to 2 to 3 games a day just to kill the monotony and the boredom. So I'm playing Strat-O-Matic, and one of the reasons I don't play Strat-O-Matic is a lot. I have a ton of Strat-O-Matic, I just don't play it all the time. Um, I think the main reason is basically because I'm a little bit of a stickler for being able to make a lot of actual decisions when the situation, in my view, um, calls for it. So Strat-O-Matic, has a limited number of players that they give you for every team. Back in the day, it was 20 players, and teams didn't use that many players, and pitchers went 30, 40 starts. Um, so it was still, you could still get by. Nowadays, just teams use so many players. And let me give you an example. And this is annoying. My glasses keep on sliding down. Um, I'm playing the 87 Mets against the 87 Cardinals in April. So there's guys in the or on the April roster that aren't going to be there later on in the year. And what Strat does is gives you the players that finish with the team, right? In some instances, of course, they have two cards, but mostly they just give you the players that finish with the teams. So that leaves me with guys, a lot, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 guys, maybe 2 or 3 pitchers pitching in that April game that the cards don't represent because they're on the team that they go to later on in the season. All right, so multiple times I've bought the card viewer where you can print out cards, but I find it's a whole series of steps, and sometimes I'm just not in the mood to go through all those steps, especially right now. So, but I have discovered, and it's nothing new, I'm sure a lot of you guys already do this, one very easy, simple way to grab those players that later or in mid-season get traded to another team. Just basically click on those players in April and see if they went to another team. Take a look at how many at-bats they have. And if you feel that they're going to probably be represented, go to that team, pull out that card, and let's look and see how I did it and how it came out. Okay, so here is basically what I'm talking about for Strat-O-Matic. I just took the card, like Tito Landrum plays on the St. Louis Cardinals and starts in some games in April, but he isn't representative or represented, and those are I'm a stickler for that. Some guys I know don't care, but I like to have those no-name guys or those few appearance guys start in their games. It just adds an element of the unexpected to me, the novelty of having somebody who's nobody actually accomplish something big. And so basically I put it in my scanner. I took the card from the Dodgers. He's on the, I'm playing the Cardinals. He's on the Cardinals in the starting lineup, but he went to the Dodgers later on in the season. So I put him in the scanner, and there he is. So ethically, I'm not selling this. This is just for my use. And it's just to simplify. So, because what happens is if I pull Tito Landrum from the Dodgers and just pop him into, the Cardinals, that's going to just add an extra responsibility for me to go grab him when the changes take place and then put him back into the Dodgers. And if I do that with a ton of players, it just gives me a lot more work. If I ever sell this set, then it's going to be like, hey, I'm missing players. Where are they? And I'll be like, I won't remember what I did with that. But, you know, so I want to avoid all that. So basically, what I'm doing here is just printing this out. And let's see if I can grab a scissor here, but and I can show you how. Oh, here it is. Okay, so basically, I'm going to cut out the Tito Landrum card, and I'm going to pop into. Now, I use the advanced side. Right? I use the advanced side, so I don't worry about the basic side. Some guys, if they use the basic guide primarily, and that's fine. Scan out the basic side. It's what you use. Alright, so here it is. So that's the first part of what I got to do. And what I'm going to do is grab that Landrum card and measure it up against. Alright, I'm going to measure it up against my guy. So I can see there's a line right there. Sometimes you get the line, sometimes you don't. Okay, so dump that. And now I see that at the bottom, I'm missing like a ton of stuff there. So that's another thing I gotta worry about. Missing a lot there, and it's about this much, approximately. Now these things don't have to come exact. As long as they're close enough, I'm good. And I'm happy, and there it is. So I got the Tito Landrum card. This is a little pointy. There we go. And you can use it. You can also use a cutter if you have one. Let's see. There it is. Pretty close. Almost identical. So I put the original Tito Landrum back on his team. All right. Back on the Dodgers. And I don't have to worry anymore about it. I have a Tito Landrum with the Cardinals. And I have a Tito Landrum with the Cardinals. Tito Landrum with the Dodgers and one with the Cardinals. So that is good. That works out for me. And he is batting, well, wherever he's batting. I'll pop him into that position as well. So let me also show you how I did a couple of other players. I had Pat Perry who played with the Cardinals and is being used in this series multiple times. And if I only have X amount of pitchers, I run into the problem of fatigue, right? Because I'm inputting all this data into my stat keeper. And then I had Dave LaPointe, who went to the Chicago White Sox. So those are two cards that I made. And you can see they don't have a backside because I don't use the backside. I don't play the basic. If you play the basic, just make the basic. That way, I put LaPointe back in the White Sox. I put Pat Perry back into the Reds. And then these cards are the ones that are going to come in now to replace Greg Matthews. One's a left. They're both lefties. And he's going to face Johnson. Johnson kills lefties. He has a 2, 3, and a 4 home run versus lefties. And versus righty, he has, kills righties and lefties in his column 1. Probably a little better versus lefties. Let me see if he has any home. Oh, he has a home run at 10. But he also has home run at 10. That's a diamond shot. Almost identical. So I'm going to just bring in one of these guys that I haven't used at all. I'll bring in Pat Perry. And that's one way to get around the fact that, you don't get all the players. And when you get 27 players and you're playing games in April and May and June, right, those players will maybe get traded later or released later, and you won't have them in your deck of cards. You'll have players that join the team in July, August, and so forth. And of course, if you want to kind of play it, and have stats that are kind of realistic and representative of what happened, this is the way you want to go. All right, guys, remember, join the Universal Baseball Association Facebook group, like and subscribe to my channel, and I will give you some quick, easy tips and hints as we go.